Today is Monday, March the 8th. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my daily thought. You know what? I whew, I am I'm pretty chill today. Even though things have been semi busy. I had to do the phone calls and all the other stuff and obviously working my regular job and handling other things, and it's always juggling with the things that I do. Yesterday, Sunday, I didn't do anything. I actually took that day for me. And it was so weird. I always feel guilty when I'm not doing something. And I mentioned this before. It's just like if I'm just watching TV or just relaxing or whatever, the guilt creeps in because it's like you could be productive right now. Why are you just watching this? Why are you doing this? But you know what? I was like, I'm gonna take a day and try to rest my mind. And for the most part, I did. I mean, obviously, my mind's always going, constantly thinking. But for the most part, I was able to steal some of my thoughts. And I even fell asleep while watching TV last night, YouTube of all things. And then I randomly woke up and I replied to a text when I randomly woke up of a friend of mine. I was like, hey, we need to talk when we're both coherent because it was almost 1 a.m. Also, I bit my lip over the weekend too. I bit my lip. But yeah, it's all good. So this Sunday I started watching the originals again because I've been watching Vampire Diaries. And then in season 4 of the Vampire Diaries, that's when the originals, as season 4 is ending, that's when the originals go off and do their thing in New Orleans. So I was like, you know what? I've already watched 4 seasons of Vampire Diaries. I'm already on season 5 of it. And for those who don't know, there's like, I think 8 seasons of Vampire Diaries. So I'm like, I'm already on season 5. I'm Everyone knows who's listened to the show that I prefer the originals over Vampire Diaries, even though I like both of them. And I was just like, let me go ahead and just start watching the originals. Even though I've seen the entire series of both before. And I mentioned this, I have series that I have not touched, that I have not watched before, that I own. And even shows I don't own, which I did catch up on my anime. I watched some episodes of Black Clover. I watched like 5 episodes of Black Clover. I'm still, I want to say 30 something episodes behind. And then I'll be caught up on Black Clover. Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm definitely caught up on that. I'm only 1 episode behind, which it upsets me because I don't want to watch the 1 episode because then it's going to end and then I'm going to be like, I want to see something else. So I'm waiting until the next episode or the next few episodes comes up and then I'll go ahead and watch it. So yeah, that's what I did. So I watched Black Clover. Why do I feel like today is Tuesday? Let me check this. These days jumbled together. I need to make sure I'm not a crazy person. Hold on. Yeah, today's Monday. Okay, good. That's what, making sure. I'm having a moment. Okay. So yesterday, while I watched Black Clover, I watched the originals. Then for the evening, I watched the movie I had seen before. Mind you, I own over 1,200 movies, or more like 1,300, I guess. And out of all my movies, I probably have a good close to maybe 100 to 200 movies I have not seen that I own. Because I bought them when they were on sale, because I love a good sale. And it's like, oh, well, I'll eventually want to watch it, you know. And yesterday I was like, oh, well, do I want to watch a movie I haven't seen before? Or do I want to watch a movie I've already seen? And I was in the mood to watch a movie I had already seen, which I was just in that energy, because that's the other thing. I'm a very moody person. My moods change constantly, and I'm true Cancerian, where I can be one way one minute, hot one minute, cold the next. It just depends on my mood. And that's the thing too, when it comes to energy. I usually go wherever the energy goes. Hence, with the tarot cards, I go wherever the energy takes me. That's what I read. That's why I'm not really into reading reversals. Now, with yesterday, my energy was like, you know what? I want something that's a little more inspirational. And that's a little, just inspirational, uplifting, happy type stuff. Not necessarily a full-blown comedy, which, by the way, I could do this for the movie review, and I still may. Coming to America, the sequel, in my opinion, and I think I mentioned this before, I don't think it was that bad. And I might just go ahead and do that. No, I can't do that this coming weekend because I'm doing the mid-month tarot card readings this coming weekend. I might do a movie review this week where I would normally do my daily thought. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. It depends on what my mood is. But the end summary, I don't think it was as bad as some people are saying. That's just me. I can go into why later, but that's just my thought. But I digress. So I didn't want a full-blown comedy. I wanted something that had, a little bit of funniness to it, but also had a nice message in it and made you smile a little bit at the end, that type of thing. So I put on, and it's not old. It's a few years old. It came out in 2018. It's a Jennifer Lopez movie. If you haven't seen it, it's really good. And it does have funny moments. It really does. It's called Second Act. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Because Jennifer Lopez, she doesn't get as much credit as she deserves as an actress. I think she's a good actress. So yeah, check that out. The movie's called Second Act. So I watched that last night, and then I fell asleep watching YouTube. So today I woke up, and of course I said, thank you for another day. And I was just like, what do I want to talk about today? And believe it or not, I was planning on talking about real estate. But then my mind changed at the last minute. Because I was like, well, I can talk about real estate later, which I will more than likely do that. What I'll talk about is a way to buy a home without getting a mortgage. Because I used to deal with that in real estate, in one of my real estate jobs. And I feel like some people don't know about this. So yeah, if people have the money saved up and they have a stable income and all that stuff, but their credit isn't like, really, really, really good, then I feel people should know what options are available to them. And I just want to throw that out there. Now, again, I'm not licensed in anything. I was a licensed notary, but I let that expire because I don't work in real estate anymore. I work in the music industry. But with real estate, I learned a lot of interesting things when I did work in real estate. So yeah. Okay. Now to get to the daily thought. It's so strange with the tarot cards and things like that. Some people look on tarot cards as a bad thing, depending on what type of religion they come from. And also with different religions where you have people who may be Christians, and then with Christians you have Baptists, you have Methodists. My family, we went to a Baptist church when I was a kid, and then we switched to Methodist. One of the reasons we switched to Methodist was because they had 8 o'clock service. So my family was ready to get in and get out. Glory be. And we stayed at that church for a while. And then my my mother switched to another church with her family somewhere else. And I think that church is Methodist as well. And I've come across things throughout the years where I've met people. No, I still own it. I still have a Quran as well. When it comes to Muslim religion, I once was a practicing Wiccan as well. So I dealt with that. I've also identified as Christian. If you want to go into the details, in the 6th grade, I had taken, Jesus into my heart as my Lord and Savior, and acknowledged that he died on the cross, which that's not really something that you need a Bible for to tell you that. It's a fact that Jesus was a person, he was a man, and he did in fact die on the cross. It's a fact. So, yeah. I've dealt with people who are Jewish, even though technically I'm part Jewish too, which I've already mentioned that. I think I told you guys that. It's on my mother's side of the family. That's where the red hair comes from on my mother's side of the family. Some of my cousins have red hair and freckles. It comes from the Jewish side of the family with that. So we're kind of diverse. And I'm trying to think. I was friends with a devil worshiper who was a very, very sweet girl. It's nothing like you would think. When you think of devil worshiper, you would think of, No, she wasn't like that at all. She was a sweetheart. Because me, like I tell people, I don't judge. If you want to worship the devil, that's your business. Do what you want to do. Long as you're not hurting anybody, it's all good. That's how I look at it. And to my understanding, she wasn't hurting anybody. So she can worship whoever she want to worship. When it comes to the universe, when it comes to God, whether, Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, what's another name? Because I wrote one down. Abba, Spirit, the One, Goddess, because some people say Goddess as well, the Source, whatever you want to call it. My point of bringing all this up is, as I'm talking about religion, is that everyone has their own relationship with the universe. Everyone has their own relationship with God. And I honestly believe that whether people realize it or not, they're all worshiping the same source. Whether someone's Muslim, whether someone's Jewish, whether someone's Baptist or Presbyterian or Buddhist or whatever. I feel it's just all, what's the word I'm looking for? Universe, can I have some backup here? It's just all different filters of what people believe the source should be. Some people may believe the source is this. Some people may believe the source is that. And the filter is through the lens of someone's eyes that are most comfortable to them. Just like when it comes to a pair of glasses, if you have one person who wears glasses and you have another person who wears glasses, if they switch their glasses, there's no guarantee that they'll be able to see, because the prescription that was assigned to them for their glasses may be totally different. So person A who wears glasses can only see through those type of glasses. Person B who wears glasses and has their prescription can only see through those type of glasses. But you can't take A and B and swap them and then expect them to see the same. So, and that's kind of how I look at the relationship with the universe, where people have to put on the glasses that allow them to see the universe, the prescription that works best for them. Judaism might work best for a group of people. Christianity might work best for a group of people. Islam might work best for a group of people. Buddhism, I was about to say Buddhism. Buddhism might work best for a group of people. Hinduism might work best for a group of people. It's all on how can the universe get to you? What is the easiest path for the universe to touch your heart? And it may be difficult for the universe to get to your heart through the path of Christianity. They may have to take the path of Islam to get to your heart. And by they, I'm talking about the universe, God, the one. God may have to take the path of Judaism to get to another person's heart, because that is the prescription that will only work to help them see, to be their best self that they can be and make a contribution to humanity. So that's why I don't judge people on their religious path or how they identify. Now, with some customs and things, I'll have an opinion, because some things I just don't agree with. And that can be in different customs and what have you. That's just me, and I have a right to my opinion. However, when it comes to the source, when it comes to God, when it comes to Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, God has to, the universe has to take the path that can touch someone's heart. And the universe knows exactly what path to take because it's the universe. It knows everything. And some people, they don't associate with a particular religion. Some people just don't deal with Judaism or Christianity or Hinduism or Buddhism or Islam or what have you. Some people are just I don't want to say world citizens, because the term citizen implies that there isn't some type of religious aspect present. I'll say world, what's the word I'm looking for? World, I don't want to say scholar. I'll say world disciples. I'll say world disciples. Some people are just world disciples, where they're open to hearing anything. They're open to taking in the energy wherever they can take in the energy from. They might take in the energy from tarot card readings, where some people may be strictly Christian. And if someone's strictly Christian, where in the Bible it says beware of fortune tellers and things of that nature, then the message that can be told in tarot card readings, that person who's strictly straight down the line of Christian, who doesn't believe in that and considers it sorcery and all this other stuff, they wouldn't be able to get the message. The source couldn't reach them that way through a reading, even though that is an avenue. So the source would have to speak to them in a different way. The universe would have to send other signs. However, for the global disciples, for the universal disciples, those people, they're open to listening. And their relationship is not any better or any worse than anyone else's relationship. Just like the person who is the Christian, their relationship is not any better or any worse than anyone's relationship when it comes to connecting to the source. One is not better than the other. Everyone can claim that their religion or that their path to the source, God, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah, Goddess, the source, they can claim that it's better. However, when it's all said and done, everyone is connecting to the source still. They're just doing it in different ways. Everyone has their own personal relationship with the universe. Everyone has their own relationship with God. And I always tell people, don't be so quick to judge. You can have an opinion. Like I say all day long, you can have an opinion every day of the week. I have plenty of opinions. This podcast is built off of my opinions. However, when it comes to judging, who are you to judge someone's personal relationship with the universe? Because you don't know. You're not the one in the relationship with them. Just like if we were on the physical plane and you were in a marriage and someone was on the outside looking in, judging your marriage, but they don't live with you and your spouse, they don't go to sleep with you and your spouse. Well, these days, things have changed over the years, but that's another story in another episode for another day. But they don't go to bed with you and your spouse. They don't eat with you and your spouse constantly. They're not there, but yet and still they want to judge what your relationship with you and your spouse is. How can they judge what they don't know? How can they judge when they don't know what you and your spouse have been through together? How can you judge someone's relationship with the universe when you don't know what that individual and the universe has been through together? How do you know that the universe didn't reach them in a different way specifically because the universe knew this is how to reach this individual? The universe was like, I could go this route, but they're not going to hear me. Regardless of all of these routes, it all leads back to me, is the universe's thought process. Regardless of the route, it all leads back to God, the universe, the source, the one, spirit. It all leads back. There are a bunch of rivers and streams. That's all these religions are. All of these practices, there are a bunch of rivers and streams running into a vast ocean, which is the universe. All of it leads back to the ocean. All of it leads back to God. It just depends on what stream or river someone's taking to get there. Not everyone can endure certain rivers and streams. Some people might get lost too quickly. Some people might get there too quickly or there too late. But it all leads back to the source, the universe, the one. And the one that determines that on how to reach people is the universe. That's why you don't know what someone's relationship is with the universe. Everyone has their own relationship. Every single person. There's, are we at now? What, 7 billion, 8 billion? I've lost count. I don't really make it my business to count the world population every day. And that's not even including what may exist, because they say that we're the only ones, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And again, you can believe what you want to believe. They say that we're the only ones. I don't believe that. As for planet Earth, I think it's like 8 billion now, or 9 billion. Every single person, and we'll just say 8, because 8 is one of my favorite numbers. Out of that 8 billion, every single person has the ability to have their own personal relationship with the universe. And no other person within the 8 billion can judge what that relationship is, because they don't know what the universe set up and did to begin with. They don't know. Now, you can go into, if it's on your heart to bring someone into a certain type of religion, again, that can be the thing with if someone wants to minister to someone and do this and do that, that's fine. If it's on your spirit to do so, go ahead and do it. And if it's meant to be, it will be. We all have free will. So if you feel it's on your spirit to minister to somebody and you want to bring them into Judaism or Hinduism or Buddhism or Islam or Christianity or whatever, then by all means, do that. See if you can help that person, because the person may say, no, that's not really my thing, but you may have brought something to them that did make sense, and that might have boosted their frequency to get in tune with the universe a little bit quicker. Who knows? However, once it's all said and done, every individual has their own personal relationship with the universe. Every individual. And for you, if you have your own personal relationship with the universe, that's with you and the universe. How confident are you in your personal relationship with God, or Allah, or Yahweh, or Jehovah? And that is my daily thought. So yeah, that was on my mind. I don't know why. It was on my mind. It was on my spirit. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that today. So I did. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. KIRWKC, of course, on all the social media platforms. This podcast is on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and several other podcasting platforms. So feel free to listen on whichever one is more convenient for you. To everyone who has been supporting this podcast, I sincerely appreciate it more than you will ever know. And I'm working on something else. I told you I'm working on something. I'm just waiting to get everything done, which that reminds me, I have to call my attorney today. Yeah. So let me get going. Until next time, be blessed.